Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call the Economic Development and Parks and Rec meeting to order for October 22nd. We'll start with approval of our minutes from last month. If there's no objections, we'll go ahead and move on. The first thing on our agenda is a report from Economic Development, resolution to approve project expenditures.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. The reason I put this on is that in both instances, these items are well in excess of $5,000, and I wanted to get approval. One is to replace the sign that was destroyed at Martin Park, and because the cost falls under our deductible, we are having to do it ourselves. The second is wanting to be able to build two small and medium-sized splash pads. First one would be in Hall Park, and the second would either be, the first would be Union Park, and the second would be the Hall Park or Broadway, which is now June Woods Park. And you know what those are. Our children don't have any facility like that here in the city. And this past summer, the fire department was able to go out and use the trucks to cover part. But the second day, I believe it was, a situation occurred that shows the limitations on that. There was a fire in St. Joe and the trucks had to go to it. And so there were kids out there waiting, and many of them left. Fortunately, the truck did get back in time and did, provide cooling for the kids that remain. But we'd like to put a couple of them in the city and try to address the needs of our young children.
I know it's written in here, but can you speak to the financial impact, please?
Basically, the financial impact would be the 40,000, but overall on the budget, it would be little or nothing because cost cutting taking place will save less of this amount of money. And in addition, there'll be additional revenues also that we'll be receiving that will offset this.
Joanne, I don't know if you want to take the chair here, but we were just on the first. Mr. Little was talking about the splash pad and the expense for the sign. So now we're at the point where it's comments.
So we already conquered one and two.
No, we're on one.
Resolution to approve project expenditures.
Yes.
Okay. Can we? Did you already call roll? Okay. Welcome to the board. Yeah, I've seen that on there. Representative was not. So there has been a change to our board. No longer we have Representative Edwards, Commissioner Warren, and myself. Can you note that? Thank you. Any other questions about the resolution to approve project expenditures? Co-chair, if you...
But we're at the point now where we're going to take comments unless anyone up here had a comment. So the Morton Park sign replacement is $9,000, and the two splash pads that are being recommended is a total of $40,000. One would be in Union Park and one would be in Hall Park. So if anyone, I don't know, Mr. Edwards, did you have a comment before we go out into the?
Excuse me. Yes, my only question on the new signs. I'm not saying there is, but just out of clarity, I know it'll say Morton Hill and even all the other signs. What would be replacing the words conservati? it used to be Park and Conservancy.
That would not be on there. It would be the same as the new sign that was put up at Morton Park that was destroyed. The one exception to it that would be different, I've gone out and met a couple of times with the gentleman that built the sign and told him that we have to have something that's a little less destructible. And we've generally agreed that what he's going to do is prepare the sign this time with a cross member at the top and the bottom that would be like a 4x4 with a groove in the middle, so that if somebody went flying into it thinking they were going to break it like they did last time, they'd be in for a rude awakening.
Can we not make it just totally wood? I don't see any reason why we should put metal in it. I mean, if
It's-
somebody already,
It's pretty difficult in terms of the materials and would probably be a great deal more expensive to try to make it all wood. The center part of it is what wouldn't be wood. The outside, I believe they had metal posts, and then they'll have the two wood 4x4s at the top and at the bottom, and the sign would sit in between.
is there any video, do we have any kind of video cameras that are pointing that direction just for safety and just for, and I'm saying that not even just for that park, but it'll behoove us to do something for the Bobo Bajil Center, being over the area also, to have some type of video camera or footage to be able to look and see what's going on in both directions.
We're working on that.
Commissioner Adams.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Mary Alice Adams, City of Benton Harbor, 152 Lake Avenue. It's very disheartening to keep hearing something about cameras over and over and over because it's just been a song for 20-some years now. And we should know who's doing what by now, and we should be able to help public safety with some of, to lighten their load. The cameras that we got were not the cameras that I thought we would be getting because they had wheels on them and they're just placed in certain specific areas. I was over here in the Fourth Ward, and there's two over there that are fenced up by the park, and one by, I think that's, I used to babysit over there, right there up from the hill from the park. Why, and I'm gonna say it again, we have barriers over here on Empire that's sitting on Benton Harbor's property next to DJ's store, BJ, DJ, whatever. But why can't those be moved over there and cut that street off? Barricade that in to keep people from dumping over there because it's clean now, thank God. What is that name of that street? Right up from Frank's Park.
The sign, Commissioner?
We get into the sign.
Okay.
We get into the sign because they all correspond together. And it just makes sense because those signs, how long have those cameras been there?
First off, if I might help you, the camera you're talking about that's fenced in, that's not ours. That's Department of Corrections.
Okay, so it's two of them over there. So my
No.
question again is, where are the cameras that Whirlpool and the city paid for to put on the eyes of the Armory
They
and some
weren't-
other spots?
Okay, they
Dumping.
weren't to put on the eyes of the Armory. Those cameras specifically were for and are mounted on a number of
Okay,
intersections.
okay.
But let me go a little further. The other ones that you were talking about that we, in fact, I have one of them sitting up at June Woods Park.
Okay.
And another one is we had down by, can't think of the name of the street right now, but anyway, those cameras are not functioning, and
Okay.
I've written a letter to the
Okay.
company to pick them up and take them
Okay.
away. And
So-
we're trying to get some others that will be cheaper and still
Okay,
work
so,
for us.
so when we do that, can we think about right up here on Jefferson Hill? Because it's been a problem for a very, very long time.
We have to be able to move them around.
I know,
But
I
we'll
know.
put them in, yes,
Okay,
we'll
so
cover all the places we're having
Back to the
problems.
sign. For $9,000, can't we get a big stone? A big stone and have whatever writing it needs to state for whatever the park is, whatever name, carved into it?
Kind of like the one that's in front of Martin.
The ones that seem to be
Hill,
everlasting,
yeah.
because if we spend that much money on a sign to have to come back next year and do it again, it's a waste of the taxpayers' dollars, I'm just saying.
It would cost a lot more than that.
Then
I
we
checked.
should, we should spend it up front, though. We need to find it up front.
Get estimates on that? More than one?
No, we're replacing the sign that they had put there that was destroyed. And so we basically were looking to replace essentially the same sign. But I had talked about and asked about the cost for carving in stone like they got right in front of the Martin House. And
So the insurance is not covering that?
not at all. It's below the.
So if it's over $5,000, then we have to get some estimates, because it's over $5,000
Well,
for the charter.
In this instance, you wouldn't get an estimate because you got to replace the same one that was there, and there's nobody else that can prepare it. It was a specialist thing.
Okay, no
That's an
problem.
exception under the charter.
Commissioner, I think Commissioner Henry had her hand up.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I want to ask where this money is going to come from. I need to know if our financial department has given us strict orders, and she said this month after month after month, that the general fund was low, and the utility fund was low, and that we should curtail our spending to operational only. And we still keep spending money. I don't understand that, unless it's a plan to fail. So, and of course, you know that we didn't amend the budget. City manager said we'll do it the next quarter. So, where's this money coming from? And why are we going against the financial department's recommendation? I think that the replacement of the sign, it has to be done, but does it have to be done right now? Can it be done next spring and with a, by charter, 3 appraisals, 3 quotes? If we keep going around the charter and saying that we're doing the right thing, that's not appealing to me, so I'm asking, where's the money coming from? Where are we taking it from? Because we have some other issues that we could use that money right now for, and that's the homeless, and our kids do need something to do, but where's that money coming from?
Thank you. City Manager, can you just answer the question, where is the money coming from?
As I answered about 10 minutes ago on that, there are numerous cost-cutting measures that are being taken that will cover the cost of this, as well as additional revenue that we have coming in that will more than cover the cost of this. That's where it will come from.
So this will not cause any kind of financial hardship to the city?
None whatsoever. As a
Okay.
matter of fact, we're finalizing an easement that's going to generating money that will cover most of this. I've already done a revision with a phone company in terms of our phone services. That's going to save us in the neighborhood of about $2,400 a month. I've got a number of other things like that that have been going on since the fiscal year began and will be continuing, that will be far more than what we're talking about here.
Thank you. Ms. City Representative Wisnot. You have to press that button, please. Pull it a little bit closer. Then hold your button, yeah.
Yeah, you said that you can't get an estimate on the signs?
Different sign companies that use different processes to make signs, but because we're replacing one that was given to us, so to speak, and we feel we're obligated to replace it with one somewhat in kind, there's one place that made it.
Well, I'm pretty sure that there's more than one company that makes signs, and because we bought it from that place, if we get someone at a lower price, wouldn't that be more feasible for the budget?
Again, I doubt the other places could produce the same sign.
But could we ask them?
Certainly
to be-
we
To be
can.
for sure. And then you said the insurance, that this was below the insurance? Or
Below the deductible, yes.
what is deductible? What's the deductible?
Deductible is, I believe now, 50,000.
Oh, 50,000 now?
Okay.
It was part of one of those measures to bring costs down. We had a deductible of $10,000, and basically that's what was helping to jack up the price that we pay every year for insurance to try to get it under control. And we really weren't having that many losses. So that's basically what happened. I mean, for example, we had a loss, I believe, like $21,000 when the roof blew off out here, the baseball, what do they call it?
Dugout.
Dugout, and they wound up paying, I think, $21,000 on it.
Okay, but I still think it'd be feasible for the city if we did, like Commissioner Seats asked, is that we get estimates, even the stone carving, just to let us know where we are in case it happens again. Because we bought the sign from that company does not mean that they could be the best one to replace it or to repair it.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Please, through the chair, the coverage and the things that are tentative on these projects, could we be abreast, can we get that information as to what those costs are? What is the plan?
It's right on the back of that resolution, if you turn the page on the back. It's $9,000 for the Morton Park sign replacement.
No. The city manager implied that there was things in place to cover the cost of this project, and I would like to have that information shared with us so we could see exactly what he's talking about.
I would ask the city, well,
That's what the budget modification will be for.
yeah, the budget
I'm sorry?
modification.
We do the budget modification, that's what that will be for us, to
Yeah,
show.
I think there's a
any
lot of
additional-
revenue
Yeah.
that's coming in that was unforeseen, and there's a lot of revenue that's coming in that is happening continuously during the year. I mean, you receive grants, you receive all kinds of things, and it was unsuspected. Some of the money that I believe that is coming in now, that will help us in the future. And City Manager, could you publicly state that, are we in a $1.5 million deficit?
The city has been in a deficit position year to year since 2015 because of the water plant, and has made the adjustments necessary to get through each budget year from year to year. And that will probably continue for some time until the overall financial situation improves. If you recall, if I could just remind you, if you recall, back before budget, we talked about this, and I explained that this, even though that's where it generated from was water, that we're addressing it by looking at everything in the city. That was part of when we raised the price on the picking up refuse to make its cost, because that was also part of what was dragging us down in terms of it. We're looking at all the fees and whatnot to bring it down to where we produce savings that helps us to balance out and get through year to year.
Have we had a balanced budget? How many years have we had a balanced budget?
You've had a balanced budget each year.
Since when?
You're required to have a balanced budget each year that you submit one. The state will require that, and we have.
So you're willing to say that publicly, that we've had a balanced budget since 2015 at least?
That is, it has to have been because it's required by law.
So is that a true statement?
Yes, but that doesn't eliminate the fact that you're absorbing that deficiency.
Cost of
in
the water, I understand the cost of the water fund, the water plant, but every year the city of Benton Harbor's had a balanced budget.
It's required to submit a balanced budget, and I'm sure you have.
Thank you. Any other questions on this issue? On
Honorable Chair,
expenditures?
do you think I could get a respond to the cost cover?
City manager, what?
Now, we've had this discussion with personnel and finance for months now, matter of fact, for a year, about the budget. And the city, they promised us that we were gonna see the budget. Now, we're not gonna see the budget or make any amendments to the budget, or know whatever these extra monies are coming in about. We don't get to know that until the next quarter. But I need to know what these costs is for this project, where they're coming from, because the budget didn't have this in it. These two projects was not in it, and I need to know where the money is coming from.
Mr. Chairman, with all due respect, we have a finance and personnel meeting once a month, and every month, the commission is given a report of expenses for that period and year to date. There's nothing that isn't provided in that process. The normal operations of any city government is that you do an annual budget. You're required by the end of that year to be within the amount of that budget. And we just went through this and finished doing it. As a matter of fact, you passed a modification just before the end of the fiscal year so that things would be balanced, because every city, every line item doesn't balance. Some you're over and some you're under. When you do that modification, you balance them so that they show that they're still within their amounts of their budget.
Thank you. Chairman of Finance is, Personnel and Finance is here. Is there any way, Commissioner Isom, you can speak to that? Is that what's happening every month, please, sir? Commissioner at large.
Chairman, while he's on his way, are we discussing the fourth?
Person number one, real quick. And I think all of these are entangled with one, so we can just deal with it all at once.
Honorable Chair, we have meeting. We have discussed the amendments, and it's on the back of the sheet every meeting. So I think I explained to Commissioner Henry. She did go through that, correct?
I did. And I didn't see where the cost coverage for this project was indicated in that document.
But to the city chair, to the city manager, this is a new project, but it will be added to the next personnel finance meeting.
That's why it's called proposed. It says proposed.
There are things planned in the budget that will be completed, that'll cost less than what was put in the budget. There are things in the budget that are, that will wind up costing more than what was there. But in the end, it'll all balance out within the amounts that are provided. And this is what goes on normally, year after year, in this city government, school districts, any place, any public body you deal with. It's nothing new. And, you know, reality is, everybody knows, we don't have staff sitting around or chase down and run these things every day and whatnot. This building has 12 people in it, and 2 of them are myself and the city clerk. You don't have the staff to run every little item down and do whatnot and so forth.
Thank you, City Manager. Being that that's, you will give an answer. Do me a favor, this is to resolution to approve project expenditures, and if you can pass that forward to Commissioner Henry, we'll be great. Do I have consensus to move this forward?
Public information. I don't want it to be behind closed doors, because you don't put it out in the public.
Thank you. Question for you, City Manager. Will you make this readily available before the resolution is passed on the next City Council meeting to know where this money is coming from so that we can put it in the public, so we have full transparency with everybody?
We can do that.
I do appreciate you greatly. Thank you. Co-Chair, do you want to keep going?
I think we're good with this one.
One question, just so I make sure, you said provide, say it again, please.
Can we provide where the money will come from for these proposed projects so that it'll be public knowledge and we'll be totally transparent with the city residents?
And you need to know that by when?
Just by the next city meeting, whenever this resolution is getting ready to be passed.
That would
That'll be in
Monday.
November 3rd.
Okay.
Is that possible or not? Can you put something to show where it was not, you know? And what is your office hours?
It go from 9 to 9, 9 to 10. And I mean, that's the reality of it. And I think we need to begin to understand that. We're doing all we can to keep the ship afloat and keep it going. And we don't, you know, this fly specking, that's not about what managing about. We'll get the information that needs to be done and do what's required to be done.
Thank you. The proposed sled, you want to speak on the sled or the ice rink or splash pads and the ice rink or the sled library
Okay, so.
and the ice rinks? Is that they're separate? So the sled is that mechanism? Can you bring that forward, please? What? That's the sled library, right? No, we move forward on the resolution. Part of the
Question, same question about finances.
So 40,000.
Those funds will come from.
okay.
But I would like to just mix the splash pads with an ice rink.
So the splash pads has not.
No, they should have something to do with it, and here's why. This has been discussed for many. It seems like it would.
Okay.
In the winter for ice skating,
All right. Yep, I understand what you're saying.
something like that could be just taken into consideration.
Yeah.
to try
Well,
to do something with it.
what we're doing now is we're trying to counteract the statements that people have put out that there's nothing to do for the children,
Exactly,
and so that's why these splash pads are happening,
exactly,
and people don't have to go to St. Joe to get them done. We're moving forward though.
exactly, and
we're moving forward.
And that's what I want to touch base on.
Yeah.
Because I think that we're looking at putting utilizing it in the winter for skating rink.
Yeah, if the design of the splash pads, if that happens, would allow that, we would certainly do that.
Yeah. Hall Park Sled Library proposal. Well, I think bit,
One said that we had bids on
oh,
it, and I'm asking now, is there three bids on this
We don't,
$3,000 job?
we
Well,
don't
this-
have any bids, and we're not doing the work right now
But you're asking for the money.
for approval to do it. And that's when we go get the bids or whatever we need to do what gets done. How it gets done. Until you know what kind of money you got, you don't know what to bid.
You said we got
all right. Well, thank you. And let me just be 100% transparent with, when we voted on getting, the armory, let's say for instance, fixed, we voted on receiving the money, then you went and got the contractors to get the work done. When we voted on getting to receive the grant money for the tuck points, we received the money and now we gotta go get the estimates to get the work done. We're still saying that the money will be set aside and he still has to go through the same process to get the work done. Nobody's gonna just pick somebody out and say, you're gonna do it and this is gonna be it. It still has to come through the full body. Is that correct?
Is correct.
This young man is here to show us the sled library and the proposed sled library proposal for 2006. And could you state your name and state what you're trying to do? excuse me, you stated grant money.
Yes. Habitat restoration grant.
So does the city govern that grant, or does another entity govern that grant?
So we're a subgrantee to Swim Pack on that. How much money roughly would you anticipate?
Out of the grant, it's $200.
What's that?
Out of the grant, it's just going to cost you $200.
For this project, yes.
Okay, and then the other project, the proposed ice rinks.
Sure. So my other proposal, I've been a hockey player my whole life. I've organized outdoor rinks and skating programs. And I think that when we have the conditions in Benton Harbor, it would be awesome if we added some outdoor rinks to our parks. I've identified 2 parks that I think would be good locations. One is Union Park. The northwest corner of the park is a flat grass area. It's not one of the baseball fields, so there wouldn't be any damage to the shape of the field. And the other one is Yarborough Park, which again has a nice flat grass area, and a rink would not impact any of the amenities that were just built. The goal is to use a non-lined rink, so no liner. This is very weather contingent, so if we have 40-degree weather all winter long, it won't happen. Last year, we had 6 to 8 weeks of solid below freezing temperatures. It was a fantastic year for outdoor skating, and all of our surrounding communities have gotten rid of their outdoor rinks. So there used to be dozens of them around, and there are none anymore. The nearest one is in South Haven, and that one you can't play hockey at. The programming goals for these 2 rinks, one, obviously hockey is available, or figure skating. People would have to bring their own equipment. We can also do broom ball, if you're not familiar. That's a fun game. You can play boot hockey, curling, and lots of other ice activities. I've spoken with the Garden Ice Arena. AJ is the director there, and he said that they would be willing to help do some programming. Obviously, winter is their busiest season, so they have limitations, but they would be willing to help sponsor an event or 2. So we could do a Learn to Skate event where they bring rental skates, and we can get kids activated in winter sports. I see our parks as great amenities in Benton Harbor, but they are dormant all winter long. And I think there's some easy things, very low cost or no cost things that we can do to activate them. The cost for my proposal here is nothing to the city. So I've talked with the fire department, and they are gonna give me the hoses and the wrench to go flood the rinks from the nearest hydrant. They don't have the ability to put staff on it to help me, but I'll get volunteers. Like I mentioned in the past, I've played hockey my whole life. I've built rinks, I've maintained rinks. So ultimately, the responsibility of this would be on my shoulders, but I am certain that my connections to the skating community, I can pull in volunteers. People love to play outdoor hockey. It's a whole nother experience than playing in an indoor rink.
And I might add that this is a volunteer effort on the part of Dane's an employee in the department. He's willing to put his time in to work with kids and so forth. And, you know, when he first talked to me about it, I thought about it and said, why not? I looked at pictures that my sister sends me from my nieces up in up north. And they're out skating and so forth. I thought it might be good to provide that opportunity for kids here in our city.
And similarly with the liability for the sledding hill, our parks liability will cover this. We will add signage to ensure that everybody is clear on the rules and the expectations and the responsibility.
Commissioner Warren.
So I personally really like the idea. I think when Dane mentioned this to me, when I lived in Philadelphia, we would go ice skating downtown all the time. So I think it's something that our community would love. In fact, I go to Chicago to ice skate at least once a winter at the rink down in Chicago. So I think it's something awesome, and I think our youth would really like it. The only thing I would say is the sled building. I would love for girls to be able to do that as well.
Yep, yeah, it's a family-oriented.
Okay.
Yep, for sure.
I heard. I was like, I
Yeah.
want to make sure
So
that.
the partner is with Present Pillars, and they're a fathers-oriented group, but they have boys and girls as children, so it's family-oriented. Yep.
Commissioner. Okay, I apologize. City resident, city representative, I'm sorry.
I think it's a great idea because we grew up and we had an ice skating rink in Union Park, and we went every day. Not a problem. The malls in most major cities have ice skating rinks. But like Commissioner Warren said, you said fathers and sons. What about the young kids who don't have fathers? Will there be people there to mentor, or will you get people to volunteer for that? Also girls, and I also think that Broadway Park would be a great park for smaller kids who may not be able to get to Union Park or go down to the Charles Yarborough Park.
Yeah, so the fathers activity that I was specifically talking about was just the sled building program, and that would be fathers and their kids, boys, girls. The programming would be open to any city resident.
Well, I understand that part, but wouldn't the kids who don't have fathers, would they not be allowed to build park?
So can they bring their mother? That's what they're saying. They can
Yeah,
bring any.
yeah.
Not so much bring their
Present-
mothers.
That's Present
have
Pillars
somebody
programming.
else.
I'm describing what they.
Not so much to bring
Yeah.
their mothers,
Yeah.
but can you get volunteers also
Yes,
to help
and
young
that-
men and women who don't have fathers in their home?
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that Present Pillars does as well. Yep.
Commissioner Edwards.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. One consideration, speed skating. Are any of those rinks can be converted at the time for speed skating?
So the size of the rinks that I've proposed, I think I wrote it in here, 50 by 100 feet would be small, but if you're, youth speed skating could probably fit on there. Both of these parks have room for bigger rinks, but I didn't want to get too ambitious for the first year. So I think this is a good year to test it out, see how it goes. Another option or opportunity that may arise if this, continues year to year is maybe it's an opportunity for economic development with somebody starting a skate rental program, whatever. So I think that's a great suggestion. This size rink might be a little small for that.
And reason I ask, because I remember Chicago, I think at Broadway one time, one end of the court, they had the regular 10-foot, and the other end, it was like 8 foot. So if you was my height back in the day, you go on the 8-foot ramp so you could dunk. But I was just thinking, and you mentioned it, a smaller rink. But I know in the Midwest, speed skating is kind of a top thing because they aim for the Olympics. So I guess a smaller rink would be more of an introductory and maybe a startup on how to speed skate right after you come off the skating rink. So, yeah, thank you very much.
Will there be an area for senior citizens?
I think that we could establish times or a section of the rink. We can establish rules to have a shared space. In my experience as a hockey player, you share the rink. You let the figure skaters have their half. You keep your puck on your half, and everybody gets along. So it's kind of a culture around skating. But yes, that's a great suggestion.
I believe my mom she used to ice skate when she was younger, so I don't know if she wants to get back into it or not.
Excuse me, that's what I wanted to know. I want for adults.
Yeah, this will be for all ages. Yep.
I wanted to, yeah, okay.
I think the way she looked at me, that's a no.
I think we should say all healthy ages, right?
I'm totally in support. I think this is something that can counteract some other things and bring culture to our community. Different things help different ways, and you never know. Even if it helps 5 to 10 or 15 to 20, it's still going to be helping somebody. And I agree in any way possible I can help. I'm not the best ice skater.
We can fix that.
Wow. It's called workman's comp if I fall. And I don't heal as easy as I used to. So, but I do any way I can help. I'm willing to help, and even if there's some kids who don't have somebody to go with them, I'm willing to go. My children are grown now, but I built a sled. It looks like it is not too much to it. I mean, I'm not saying that what you're doing is not.
No, they're simple.
But
They're durable and they're
I
simple.
think we can, me and Commissioner Isom can make a couple Chicago Bears sleds, and we'll be all right with that. But I want to thank you for bringing ideas to Benton Harbor that will help improve the lives of our young people, because I think that if we can start them here, we don't have to worry about them when they get there. So if we can help them here, that'll be a great influence. I got a niece right now who is, I think she's 3 years old. How old is she? She's 5. And she speaks like 3 different languages. She can sing, she can dance, she ballet, she do all that kind of stuff. And she's very, very articulate. And so I think that'll be something for her. I know she does ballet and all that. But I can imagine that she will have her Gigi down there, taking her to the ice skating ring, and it's going to happen. I ain't going to use your words. I know great things will happen. Not expecting it, but I do appreciate it. Someone had their hand up. I'm sorry, Commissioner Henry.
I just want to ask a few questions, and I'm glad you told us it was 50 by 100, because that was one of my first questions. But I want to know, what is the surface going to be built, and do we utilize that surface in the summer? And where, bring it back to the hill, where would that sliding go? The traditional hill right there where the,
It's a little small, but, so this is the flat top at the top of the hill, and that's where everybody has historically sledded.
is that at the baseball?
No, baseball field's way over here. So that's the basketball court.
There's a big tire out there. We traditionally has been. I slid down that hill as a kid a lot of
I did
time.
too. I did too,
Same
so
hill.
that's why I was just wondering if it was the same hill. And then the other question would be, where, what is it gonna be built? The skating ring's gonna be built with? And will we be able to utilize it in the summer?
So just to clarify, my design for this year, to keep it no cost, we're going to flood the grass, so there's nothing being built. When the conditions are right and the ground is frozen, you can flood the grass. It's even easier if we have a little bit of snow. And so you flood a rink in the snow. This is how my hometown does it. And then in the spring, it melts, and you have that field available for summer sports and practice. In the future, if we have the funds, we can buy a liner. I put the cost in there. They're approximately $5,000 to $10,000 for a liner.
I think we got a liner.
We did. We still have it. It has too many holes to be reused. So.
Joe Harris bought that when he was emergency manager, and we had it right there where Martin Luther King is at right now. And they were actually, well, what happened was the problem became that he bought it in the wrong wintertime, because that winter it was getting up to 60, 65, 70. And the water was melting, and it was turned into a swimming pool instead of a ice skating ring. And so that one so we didn't have a warranty. Well, that's been how many years? 15 years ago?
Yeah, there were a
that's
lot of
been
outdoor
10
rink
years
liners
ago.
purchased during COVID, and the market really got flooded. And they don't last forever. They last for maybe 2 seasons under regular use, and then they have holes and they need to be replaced.
My other question is this, because when I first became Plan Economic Development Chair, Emma Jean Munns Thompson was our Plan Economic Development young lady, and we had money to build a ice skating ring here, but we didn't have the match money. And so what they did was the people who got the grant took the money over to St. Joe, and that's where the history of the ice skating ring, because they had the match money to make it across from Amoco and all across from CBS. That's where that money came from. That was originally designated for the city of Benton Harbor, but because we did not have match money, it went over to the city of St. Joe. My question becomes, is there any other grant money possibly in the future? I know you can't crystal ball it, but is there money out there for such things as this?
Yeah, it exists. This is clearly a passion of mine, something I'm always looking out for. If you've ever been to the South Haven rink, that's what I would love to see in Benton Harbor. They have a pavilion. They've got the refrigerate system underneath. It's got a concrete floor. In the summer, that's their farmer's market. And in the winter, it's their ice rink. And I think that's a really good option. And there's many different places in the city that could be plugged into. So yes, we're definitely looking for those opportunities. This is what we can do now. And I think that this is within reach, and I'm very happy to volunteer to make it happen.
Thank you
It
again.
really takes hold. Where there's a will, there's a way. We can find a way to do something if it becomes something that people really enjoy and like and want to keep going.
I just wanted to
Thank
throw
you.
out one more thing for future. Some cities have ice in the winter and skating in the summer. So I know we're talking about future, but I think for our community, that would be something very popular if we could do that, where it's the skating in the summer and ice in the winter.
Yep, definitely.
So you telling me you can skate too? That would be wonderful if we did have a skate. I mean, they pulled out skates. I think Commissioner Henderson and a few others pulled out skates and had the kids skating out in the park one summer day. It was real nice. And I think that this is only the start of something that can be great. You have my full support, and I think this body will support in any way we can. And if you need a DJ, we got that too.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Don't leave. Because I must ask my question a little different to somebody else's understanding, but I'm gonna say it again. And I'm gonna ask the question again because this has been talked about for years and trying to bring the community together as a whole, looking at this property down here by Ox Creek, where the old, what was it, Chevrolet used to be? Right there where I think the gas company owns that property now, where they cleaned up that side of Ox Creek, would be the greatest indoor-outdoor year-round facility for skating, roller and ice. If we could focus on something like that, but not only that, while we're doing this right here, these smaller projects, to actually think about the infrastructure of the water lines or whatever needs to be ran to, like a splash pad in the summer and an ice rink in the winter. Yeah, for smaller, yeah. I love it. And we don't have to use cardboard boxes anymore.
That wouldn't be a bad idea for the Armory once we get it fixed to put some roller skating in there.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
basketball, roller skating, whatever you want to do. That would be an awesome thing.
And that would all just depending on the floor, right? Because you can get a floor that's convertible for that. So that's all that would.
I'm talking about regular roller skating, not ice skating.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Right,
Roller,
right.
even basketball is
Roller
depending on the floor that you would
No,
use.
you don't want to do that.
You
It
can
carries
skate.
a lot of sweat and stench.
What does basketball?
No.
They sweat playing.
Skating,
They
basketball.
sweat. They sweat hooping.
I don't know. What are we going to do with it? Okay, has that been determined? What are we going to do with it? I
Yeah,
thought the
well, we're
public-
right now, we're right now talking about that.
I know, but I thought that we will get to
Yeah,
that
yeah,
and the
we will.
community would have a say-so?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we will. I do, thank you. Anybody who's trying to make Benton Harbor better for the residents and a place to live is tremendous, and thank you for becoming an asset to the city of Benton Harbor, and I didn't know who had the sled in here. I didn't know what was getting ready to happen. I thought you was going to go across the floor on it. I didn't know if you had a remote control, but it's very nice. And how many have you built so far?
Dozens.
You built that?
Yeah.
Shut the front door.
Is it so? Will the kids be allowed to like decorate it their own way and all that?
Pimp it out.
Oh, that'd be good. Okay. Any objections?
Pimp the sled out.
So don't get mad if anybody votes no. I hope we're all going to vote yes. So I appreciate you for coming. And any other can we move this on to the? Do we have to move this on to the full body?
Forward without any addition.
Oh, you're just presenting.
Yeah, I just want your blessing to move forward.
Go ahead with your bad self, man. How about it? Thank you. And again, get my number. I would love to help with that on the day I have off. All right. New business, none. Public comments. Anybody has any public comments concerning the Park and Recs or economic development? We do have about 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Is this a time that we can actually ask the question about the homeless?
This is part-
And what the 15,000 will help to do for the homeless? And I asked that question
Well-
because there was a gentleman that called me today from Kalamazoo, and he wants to know, he's looking for a pantry to help with the situation that's going to arise next month after this administration in Washington cut a lot of people off their SNAP.
Well, I do, and I'm not interrupting you. They have a meeting going on tomorrow, and they have that ad hoc committee that they formed.
Okay.
And I wouldn't mind having a special meeting sometime next week,
Okay.
or maybe a town hall meeting, and we can discuss that, bring back ideas after they have done what they needed to do.
Okay.
I think one of the biggest problems that we have now is you have too many Michael Jordans and not enough Scottie Pippens.
That part,
You have too many people want to be the head of something
that part,
and not be the second person in something.
that part. I just want to
And-
hand over a resource,
And
period.
and honestly, what happens
Back about the
is
way.
there's a lot of when we do an autopsy on the city of Benton Harbor and how much money they receive because of the condition of people.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can see where money goes and what needs to happen and things that are happening in our community. There's a lot of money that goes for resources for our people.
Yeah. But never reach them.
I myself would
Sometimes.
say, and just being totally transparent and honest, I think that the soup kitchen moving down to Larkin Sons, no offense, but when it becomes
That was-
dead of winter, the soup kitchen was right next to Salvation Army,
Where it should have been.
which was only a half a block away from where they were eating at. Now they're going to have to walk all the way over there. We're going to have to probably find transportation for them to get over there and get back, because if anybody ever worked in them elements, you can be out there for 3 or 4 minutes and something can change in your body, frostbite, anything can happen. And so this is something that really needs to be looked at. We're going to have to find a way to get them some food where they're at, and then we're going to find a way to redirect the food just to begin with way downtown and find them where they're at. There's a nice area actually right by the Salvation Army that's wide open.
Well, it actually a couple of them. And it's the old Patterson Printing Place and the old
And you
Herald
have to,
Palladium
you have to
building.
build some barriers.
Yeah,
You have to build some barriers. You have to build something. They have, right now, if you go down to New Buffalo, and I've seen it today, they have a big, look like an igloo that'll fit probably about 30 to 40 people, and it's heated. It's a heated igloo. But then the other problem is that you're going to have wraparound services for these people. Because some people, they're going to get in there and do whatever they want to do. And I'm not
Structure.
discounting anybody's struggle. But some people are struggling because of a purpose
Yeah,
and struggling because of a reason.
but still, there should be structure.
And there's people who
Yeah.
are down there getting $2,000 to $3,000 a month in income who want to stay down there. I can show you right now 30 people that's living behind this building that want to stay there. It got a place called Tent City. I asked the man, "Do you want us to help you get in the place?" He said, "No, I want you to help me get a tent for me and my girl." So we have to help the ones that want to get out the cold, and then you have to let some that want to stay in the cold. It's some people's choice.
I'm talking
And
about needy
you
people.
cannot overrule somebody's will,
I know.
because then people become aggressive, they become belligerent. And then another thing I'll say, I was talking to some homeless people today, right down here, and they said that why every time somebody come bring us food, they got to take a picture.
Yeah, that's bad. It is, that's very sad.
You're exploiting them. Every time you go feed them, you got to take a video or you got to take a picture.
You know, that
That's
happened to me
exploitation.
today. Let me, there's a young lady right down here, and she's been in our community for the past 5, 6 years. And she has been doing the will of what God would have her to do. She goes out to Highland Projects during the summer months, take food and tutor our children. She bring people from Andrews University with instruments that play and keep the attention of our children and keep them doing positive things. House of the Way. She was cooking today, and I just happened to stop in there, and one of her helpers was going out to take a tray to the homeless people, and she said, "Let me get a picture." And I'm like, "No!" And before
Well, what we need to do, we need to put a list of
Yeah.
all the services that are available and connect those that want to be connected to a service. And
Yeah.
maybe we can have all these churches adopt a couple people that want to be.
I'll take and you know what? That's a
wanna
challenge right
be-
there. Everybody take one.
Yeah,
See how many
because
people you
it's
can
easy.
get.
It's easy
I'll
to tell.
take two.
It's easy to tell us what to do, but then when you say, "Hey, why don't we all bear the burden?" Then people start falling away. So I do appreciate everybody for your. I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand, sir. Can you come?
I want to do some complaining. You guys are so nice. It's been a nice meeting. But I want to complain about this yard on the corner of Main Street and Union. The city manager knows what I'm talking about. And maybe we need to go back and check how long it's been since I've come asking about it. Because like I told you guys, I would have cut it myself. I would have cut it long ago if I hadn't been told that they were going to take care of it. Now, I don't get in the way of nobody's work until they get in mine. But when you get in the way of my work, I don't want that corner looking like that. I don't care what you have to do to take care of everybody else. And this is not nothing personal. This is something that I like to see. And you've seen me. I do it myself. I don't ask nobody to do nothing. But I asked you, and you told me one thing and did another. It's not done now. If you notice, there's no glass and bottles and Pampers and all of that laying out there. Everything on the lot is picked up. But I'm not going to sit around and let nobody tell me about their job when they won't let me do about mine. Now, I'm not asking you to help me no more. As a citizen, I'm going to command you get that lot taken care of. And if nobody else believes that that's the way it's supposed to be done, then we'll sit in areas on a corner, the main corner, Union and Main Street, southeast corner. They just tore the house down.
Ma-
It was burnt down for, I can't even count how many years that was. I took care, made sure all the stuff was away from in front of it. Threw stuff in the building too, to get, because I had nowhere else to put it. But if a citizen can do that, or do anything to help, and I don't pat myself on the back, y'all sit up and pat yourself on the back, I don't care about that. I'll do it, but I don't do it because of you or you. I do it because I feel like I don't want to see it looking like that. I don't want to ride, and we've had the problems with broken glass, we've had the problem with potholes, when the citizens didn't, when nobody said nothing, nothing got done for years. So, that's a demand, that's not a, I don't even want no comments. I don't want no comment out of you.
But I'd like to give one.
Man, please.
I just want to say you've got a legitimate complaint, and it's on the list, they just haven't gotten to it.
So, Mr. City Manager, that's going to be taken care of. I do appreciate everyone for here, being at the,
Just one more thing.
come on.
I'm glad that you brought up.
Could you come, thank you, I'm sorry. I don't want to make everybody else do it, and, you know, you.
Okay. Can go outside. Alrighty. I'm glad that you brought up, the picture taken for the homeless, because, I'm not out, I'm not putting it out there that I do it, I don't even want you to, nobody to even know what I do, you know what I'm saying? But, when I was over here working, it was some that are, running for office. They were over there with shirts on, and they was doing that, taking pictures and all that, like they was really helping the homeless, but they really wasn't. If you want me to give names, I will.
Please
will.
don't, please don't, please don't.
You know me, I will.
Yes, ma'am, please.
But they took advantage of the homeless that day. And I'm with another group, I'm not with them, we were already there. And they came and like put themselves together with us. Took their stuff, put their clothes all in front of our area, like we together. It was a doctor out there too. Yeah. It was a mess. And that was exploitative. I got upset. I did. And it hurt me. It hurt me a whole lot. And I'm gonna get up because I'm gonna start saying names.
Don't say no name, don't bear no blame.
Okay.
I want to say this, I'm glad my mother's here, because this is one of the best meetings I've acted in a while.
We're gonna invite her back every week.
If you can make it,
I know.
come back.
I felt like I was 14 again. I feel so wonderful tonight. City manager, as soon as I'm getting ready to say something, I just look, and she just, I might be on punishment. Don't block me. I'm getting ready to go. All right. Y'all have a great night. Thank you for coming out.
Don't block him. My letter.
Hey, hold on. Whoa.
Happy birthday moment.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.